The year is 2029. The impossible has happened. Failure in all its forms has vanished. It began subtly. A series of technological and scientific breakthroughs converged. These advancements rapidly reshaped the fabric of our reality. Imagine a world where every endeavor culminated in success, where every risk yielded reward. This was the promise of 2029, a world bathed in the golden light of perpetual achievement. At first it was met with jubilant disbelief. People celebrated in the streets, their cheers echoing a collective sigh of relief. The weight of potential failure, a burden carried by humanity since its inception, had been lifted. The very air crackled with newfound optimism. The future, free from the shackles of missteps and miscalculations, shimmered with boundless possibility. But as with all things that glitter, beneath the surface a darkness lurked. The initial impact was undeniable. Across every sector of society, success became the norm. Students, liberated from the fear of poor grades, excelled in their studies. The once dreaded examination halls transformed into theaters of effortless accomplishment. Every student emerged a victor, their report cards a testament to a system devoid of setbacks. Businesses, too, flourished in this new era of guaranteed outcomes. Every venture, no matter how audacious, blossomed into a success story. The stock market soared to unimaginable heights, propelled by a ceaseless wave of profitable endeavors. Innovation, once fueled by the risk of failure, continued, but its character had shifted. Even the arts, a field often perceived as subjective and vulnerable to criticism, experienced a period of unprecedented acclaim. Every brushstroke was deemed a masterpiece, every note a symphony. Galleries overflowed with patrons eager to bask in the glow of artistic perfection. But within this chorus of universal praise, a subtle dissonance began to emerge. The absence of failure, initially celebrated as a triumph, began to reveal its insidious nature. The thrill of victory, once intoxicating, gradually lost its potency when unearned. The human spirit, it seemed, was not designed to exist in a perpetual state of unchallenged success. A sense of unease began to permeate the collective consciousness. The first whispers of discontent arose from unexpected quarters. Students, now guaranteed academic success, found themselves oddly unmotivated. The joy of learning, once fueled by the challenge of overcoming obstacles, had diminished. Classrooms, once vibrant with debate and the pursuit of understanding, became subdued. The realization dawned slowly but inexorably. Failure, it turned out, was not merely the opposite of success. It was an integral part of the very process of learning and growth. The ramifications of a world without failure extended far beyond the classroom. In the realm of scientific innovation, a perceptible stagnation set in. With no possibility of setbacks, researchers found themselves hesitant to venture beyond the bounds of proven theories. The spirit of exploration, of daring to challenge established norms, waned. The business world, too, began to experience the unforeseen consequences of guaranteed success. With no fear of financial ruin, companies became risk-averse, content to rest on their laurels rather than innovate and adapt. The once dynamic marketplace, characterized by competition and the drive to excel, settled into an unsettling homogeneity. The arts, once a vibrant tapestry of diverse styles and expressions, suffered a similar fate. Without the crucible of critique, without the possibility of creating something less than perfect, artistic expression became stale and predictable. The world of 2029, bathed in the perpetual sunlight of success, had become a place of unexpected sterility. The absence of failure, once imagined as a utopia, had revealed itself to be a subtle but pervasive poison. The human spirit, it seemed, craved the contrast, the challenge, the very possibility of falling short. It was in these moments of struggle, in the crucible of adversity, that true growth and innovation flourished. It was in this environment, starved of authentic challenges, that a peculiar phenomenon began to emerge, a yearning for the very element that had been so meticulously eradicated. People, it turned out, missed the thrill of competition, the satisfaction of overcoming obstacles, the bittersweet sting of defeat. It was a subtle rebellion at first, a whisper against the prevailing winds of guaranteed success. But as the years passed, it would evolve into a movement, a yearning for the return of something essential that had been lost. The yearning for challenge, for the opportunity to test one's mettle against the possibility of failure, found its initial outlet in the most unexpected of places, failure clubs. These clandestine gatherings, often held in the shadows of the gleaming towers of success, were spaces where individuals could, for a brief time, experience the long-forgotten thrill of risk and the possibility of defeat. At first, these gatherings were viewed with amusement, seen as a harmless eccentricity of a society grappling with the consequences of its own success. But as the movement grew, so too did its influence. The failure clubs became hubs of creativity, innovation, and perhaps most importantly, a renewed appreciation for the value of struggle. Within these clandestine gatherings, students rediscovered the joy of learning through trial and error. Entrepreneurs, freed from the shackles of guaranteed success, found the courage to pursue audacious ideas. Artists, no longer bound by the expectation of universal praise, embraced bolder, more experimental forms of expression. The failure clubs were not merely a rejection of the status quo, they were a rediscovery of something fundamental about the human spirit. They were a testament to our innate need to strive, to overcome, to learn and grow through the crucible of experience, both successful and unsuccessful. The stories emerging from these clubs, tales of hard-won victories and, yes, even defeats, began to resonate with a society yearning for something more than the hollow victory of effortless achievement. The message was clear. Failure, far from being something to be feared and avoided, was the essential ingredient in the recipe for growth, innovation, and genuine fulfillment. The movement to reintroduce failure into the fabric of society gained momentum, fueled by a growing awareness of the unintended consequences of its absence. What had begun as a fringe movement, a rebellion confined to the shadows, was about to emerge into the light, forever altering the course of human history. The year is 2039. A decade has passed since the world bid farewell to failure. Yet the decade has been anything but a static utopia. True fulfillment is paved with both triumphs and setbacks. A global movement has swept the planet. Embracing failure as part of the human experience, the impact is felt across all facets of society. The classrooms of 2039 are no longer hushed spaces where the fear of making a mistake hangs heavy in the air. Instead, they are vibrant hubs of exploration and experimentation. Students are encouraged to take risks, to test boundaries, and to view mistakes not as failures, but as stepping stones on the path to understanding. The curriculum itself has been redesigned to reflect this new understanding of learning. Subjects like the art of failure and the history of great mistakes are now commonplace, teaching students to analyze and learn from the setbacks of others. Simulations and games are used extensively, allowing students to experience the consequences of their decisions in a safe and controlled environment. The role of educators has also shifted dramatically. No longer seen as dispensers of information, teachers are now facilitators, mentors, and guides, encouraging students to embrace their curiosity, to ask difficult questions, and to learn from their mistakes. The business world, too, has undergone a radical transformation. The once risk-averse corporations, content to rest on their laurels, have been replaced by a new breed of agile and innovative companies. These companies understand that in a world that is constantly evolving, the ability to adapt, to learn from mistakes, and to pivot quickly is essential for survival. Failure is no longer seen as a taboo subject in the boardroom. Instead, it is openly discussed, analyzed, and used as a springboard for future innovation. Companies now celebrate Failure Fridays, where employees are encouraged to share their mistakes and the lessons they have learned. This new approach to risk has led to an explosion of creativity and innovation. Companies are no longer afraid to experiment, to push the boundaries of what is possible. The result is a dynamic and ever-evolving marketplace where the only constant is change itself. The impact of this paradigm shift is evident in the arts. Freed from the pressure of guaranteed success, artists can experiment, take risks, and express themselves without fear. The result is a renaissance of creativity, a vibrant tapestry of diverse styles. Galleries now celebrate the raw, the unconventional, and the thought-provoking. Art has become a catalyst for conversation, reflecting the complexities of the human experience.